Yeah, he serves in 93rd Brigade. He's a captain, according to Brandon's rank knowledge. By the way, Roman, is it a captain's rank? Let's check Brandon, if he's right. What do you think?
Don't know too many of them.
Me
Yeah, you, Roman.
or
Do you
him?
know the ranks? This one?
Of course, no,
Because you're a soldier?
dude. Yeah. Of course, I don't know what. No, seriously, I don't know the ranks.
Oh my God, like I this is the funniest thing to me. Like
What?
okay, so I joined the army when I was a kid because I thought the army was cool, and you do 6 to 8 months training, and then maybe you'll go to war in 2 years. So you learn all this stupid shit, like this is a general, and this is this type of general. And in Ukraine, you go to Polygon, and then you're like, yeah, this is your Rotny. His name is Dima. And it's like, yeah, yeah. And it's like, what is Dima's rank? I don't know what is Dima's rank. It never came up in conversation before. It's like, ah, that guy's the providnik, this guy's the medic, this is, oh yeah, he's the avatar, and it's like I don't know. I didn't know my friend was a major, and then he became uh not the polk commander, but the number two, and he's like, Brandon, I can sign any paper now, and I'm like, plus plus. No, but I never knew his rank. I didn't know that he's the Nachmed. People in Ukraine, it's a different thing for foreigners. Like some mechanics in social life are friends with doctors. You know what I mean? Or like some lawyers are friends with people who work at lower jobs. Like it's an interesting social. In our countries, that doesn't. Doctors have doctor friends, police have police friends, but in Ukrainian society, I mean, obviously, rich people have rich friends, but doctors in Ukraine don't have any money, so they're friends with everyone. But no, but there's more equality in social settings.
In Ukraine?
Yes, much more than in Western countries.
Mm-hmm. So this is
Like I,
why.
I was in the British Army. Like you would never talk to an officer outside of work, and they would never talk to you. In Canada, it could happen a bit. It can cross a bit. In the British Army, absolutely not.
Roman,
What?
the mic is yours. What do you think about the officers? If you...
Starsky did not reply, right?
Officer.
Well,
No, but
so
I really I don't know about the rank anything because unfortunately I have opposite, or fortunately I have opposite vision for army. For me, it's totally suck place. It's the worst place on the earth. Maybe it's like the same as prison. For me, all my life it was like such attitude, and I hate the uniform. I hate any kind of weapon. I hate army as a structure. This obey, these orders, everything. It's not just for me.
You
It's
do because you have
everything
to.
opposite freedom. It's everything like you should obey. This is something pathetic for me. It's against nature, and only because of war and the anti-terroristic operation, like war in 2015 and full scale. Only because of that, I'm here. Otherwise, I will never join the army, and that's why I just resist to learn other stuff, which not important to eliminate enemy and survive on the battlefield. Period.
thank you.
Many people are like this, like you. They join because they have to. It's
Mm-hmm.
your country. It's not, it's, we don't have this concept in our country though, because the army is like, it's peacetime army, so it's like a cool thing. You know what I mean?
Whatever you say. No, I don't know what you mean because I can't. That's I can't accept this. I believe for many people it's okay. I'm not judge anybody, but just while Rick asked me, I share my own opinion, personal opinion. I still even thought that a peaceful army even worse than army during the war, because what are you doing there in army? You just spend your lifetime, and what are you doing in army when it's not war, really?
Well,
Like, come on.
some go there for career, and there
It's a fair
are,
question. It's a fair question.
in my opinion, there
For
are
what?
some
For
people who like to obey. They go there to obey.
Whatever, it's up to them.
Um,
I give them just this one card. They can do it.
okay. Well,
But maybe Brandon you can share us, because you said in your country it's peaceful army. So
I did 4.5 years, and I joined. It's like join
4.5,
infantry. Yeah,
4.5.
join the infantry, be a man, be cool. But your war, when I came here, I was like, I didn't know what I would do, and to end up with Hospitalieri and then Morskie Pechota, it wasn't like what I wanted. It just happened, you know. But when I work with the the foundations, like in Sweden, like the Dopomoka, a lot of them are ex-soldiers, and they do 11 months as a conscript, or they're part-time soldiers, and they always want to talk about war. Like, they know every weapon is 1950 millimeters, but in 1995 they changed it to 1840 milliliters. But they don't know what it does to human flesh. They do not know what it does to a human. And I don't like these people. I respect what they do for Ukraine, but they want to have a beer and they want like cool story, bro. And if I can be honest with you, one time I told him a story about how the 777 gun hit one of my 300s in the face. You know, the artillerist, he got hit in the face, and he's like, oh, he was, well, no, the guy was like that, but the guys were 50-year-old men, were acting like children, like, oh my God. And what did you do? He's like, I intubated him, and he probably is a vegetable the rest of his life. And I told them that story because I knew it would like gross them out. But one day I had a bad day, and I told them what I think is a bad thing in war, and he cried. And I was like,
Nailed it.
now you know, Samit. So I don't I thought Army was cool as a kid. I think Army is super cool. If you want to join Azov, if you want to join Tretyu Shturmovo Desheve, if you want to fight for your country, this is, everybody should do this. But how I used to think Army was like, yeah, you go to Afghanistan, you see a mortar hit and one guy you knew died, and then you say, I'm a veteran for the rest of your life. Thank you for your service. That's not every guy. There's some people that had a really hard war in America, Canada, but they have this veteran identity now, and they make coffee and podcasts about, I'm a veteran. I agree with Roman in many ways. You know, oh, you're going to make your own coffee brand and podcast. Really original. And you knew a guy who died once, but you're a veteran for the rest of your life, and you want to say thank you for your service. I'm I Yeah, I don't want to know anything about the army after the war, but if there's another war, I will go to the army.
Yeah,
Anyway,
It's like JD
sorry.
Vance in Oval Office. I heard about war in Ukraine. I see the stories, right? I see the videos. Fucking nothing.
It's not nice. It's not everything is Slava Ukraine. But we need. All I think about is my friends, how we support my friends, and the more that them can live and have children because they're good people, they will have good children. This is my theory. This is the most important thing. Good people. So,
Well
um,
said.
yeah,
that's my opinion.
yeah. Thank you for sharing it. I really,
That's why we do this.
yeah. one of the most conscious YouTubers out there, Brandon. It's not about what you say, but about how honest you're being when you're saying it. And there's a lot of honesty you provide. You were talking about corruption in 2022, where everyone were scared shitless to talk about it.
I lived in Africa for, I don't know, only like 8 months. But one of my bosses in South Africa told me, he says, the reason people steal is need and greed.
Mm-hmm.
And in South Africa, there's a lot of need. So he was a very successful man. He didn't only pay his employees, he made sure that their problems were sorted out. Like, if your mother needs to go to the doctor, you come to me. Do you know what I mean? If your child you come to me, and we will sort this out together. Um, and you know, everybody wants to paint a pretty picture here. Now, somebody caused some shit with me a while ago about an EcoFlow. I bought a lot of EcoFlows, and some people get jealous because they have everything. Why does he get this? And someone sends me a message. I understand the voice. I really struggle with the voice messages, but I understood what they were talking about. Basically, he traded the EcoFlow for antenna and retranslator, but they had 5 EcoFlows. So he's like, you see what he's doing with your EcoFlow? It's like, yes, he traded it for an antenna and a retranslator and something else. He's like, well, he shouldn't. Is it, well, if he was selling it on OLX, I would have a problem. But if I give him that EcoFlow, it's not my business what he does with it. And some people would get upset about that, but it's like, you don't, if you know, you have to take care of your own people first. You have to take care of your own zvod. You have to take care of your own rota, your own, and then maybe you can take care of other people. And people don't understand here. Like, one of my best friends, the VLK, they release him. His whole gas. Yes, I'll turn it down. Yes, I'll turn it down. Live it with the parents. His biggest worry in his life. He was a good rota commander, a company commander, but he's from Odessa, and the Kinjal hit the neighbor's building, and his wife was 5 months pregnant, and she lose the baby. So his priority is not his rota anymore. His head goes completely. It's his family, and people don't understand, when you're fighting for your country, when you're not going to Iraq, to Afghanistan, to Africa, to Vietnam, you're fighting for your. So I start to understand more the Taliban. I understand more the Viet Cong. I understand more they're fighting for their home, because we have those stories in Ukraine, and that's the difference. So you first, before you can even, many people who join the army, they didn't join right away, but they helped they sorted out their family first, and then they joined the army. We don't understand that from Western countries.
But I thought you were starting talking about corruption.
The corruption they have, but they have to feed their families. So
But
this is what people don't understand about the there are some bad people, but there's also people who they have to.
hmm, I know what you're talking about, but to be honest, when I talk about corruption, I never talk about those people who need it really. Though probably I also imply them, but I mainly talk about people who steal in Ministry of Defense millions, fucking
But I don't know about that.
millions of dollars, and yeah, it is out there in the press sometimes. It is upsetting, and there are bad people. Indeed, that's who you're.
Like, who hasn't taken some diesel? That's corruption. Who hasn't taken some diesel to get?
To get from point A to point B. You mean this?
Well, you get 4 days. You get 4 days off position. help yourself to a tank of diesel, drive home to Dnipro and see your family. But that's corruption.
Yeah.
It's
I see
I
what
just
you're talking about. Yeah.
and that happens every day, and we have to take care of ourselves. One guy had a Hyundai family van, and I said, "Do you want me to help you paint that?" And Avdiivka, he says, "No, it's my wife's." And I said, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, I destroyed 3 cars, and now she gave me the family car. She's driving her mother's car. She says if I destroy this car, I have to be destroyed." So it's like it's technically it's a civilian car. It's not allowed to have army diesel, but he's been through 3. So it's it's a mess. I only know about the small stuff, and I'm like, it's
Well, yeah.
you need to feed your own.
I get it. At least, I mean, this part I get it completely. I just won't ever tolerate the greed when it's not like you need to feed your own. You already have millions of hryvnias that you've stolen, and you want more money, more power, and you will just create another scheme and fucking sell, or keep those Mavics, like hundreds of them, in the warehouse somewhere. Fuck, it's just in times of war, it's treason. It's a fucking treason. When
And
you're
look in America, who's getting all the defense contracts? Their friends.
hmm
It's the whole world. This is
yeah,
going on
yeah, I'm not talking about only Ukraine.
everywhere.
Everywhere, of course. In Europe, there's also a lot of this shit.